Lesson 4, Beauty and the Beast, Part 2. Listen to see what characteristics of a fairy tale are included in Beauty and the Beast. A few days later, the merchant told his daughters what had happened to him in the rose garden at the Beast's castle. He told them how he had plucked or picked the rose and been confronted by the Beast. He explained he had promised to return to the Beast and accept his punishment. "Do you have to go?" pleaded the girls. He explained that the Beast had said that the only way for him to avoid it would be if one of them was willing to go and live with the Beast. "But I won't allow that," explained the merchant. "I will go," Beauty said quietly. "No, Beauty," said her father. "I am the one who took the rose. I shall go back to the Beast. I would rather go myself for 100 years than send you." "No, father," said Beauty. "I want to go." Her father tried to change her mind, but Beauty was determined. Determined means she felt strongly that she should go in her father's place. What do you think will happen to Beauty when she gets to the palace? A few days later, Beauty and her father returned to the castle. When she first saw the Beast, Beauty could not help shuddering, but she tried to conceal or hide her fear. "Good evening, old man," said the Beast. "Is this your youngest daughter?" "Yes," said the merchant. "This is Beauty." Beauty curtsied before the Beast. "Good evening, Beauty," said the Beast. "Are you here to take your father's place and live here with me in the castle?" "Yes, I am," said Beauty. The following day, Beast gave Beauty's father a trunk filled with golden coins and sent him on his way. As Beauty watched her father ride away, she held back the tears. How do you think Beauty feels after her father says goodbye and she is left alone with the Beast? "Beauty," said the Beast, "fear not. Things are not as bad as they may seem. You have given yourself for your father's sake, and your goodness will be rewarded. Listen to me and heed or pay close attention to this advice. Do not be deceived by appearances. Trust your heart, not your eyes." What do you suppose the Beast means by this? The next day, Beauty explored her new home. The Beast had been right. Things were not as bad as she had feared. The palace was actually quite lovely. She found a huge library filled with books she had always wanted to read. She went for a walk in the lovely gardens where songbirds chirped her favorite tunes. Here, tunes mean songs. Tunes can also mean to make small changes to fix something. When it was time for dinner, Beauty was greeted by the staff of pleasant servants who prepared none other than her favorite meal. How is it possible that Beauty's favorite songs were already known? How do you think Beauty feels now? "Good evening, Beauty," said the Beast. Beauty was still startled by the Beast's appearance, but the more time she spent with him, the more she found that he treated her with kindness and courtesy. He pulled out her chair and sat next to her at dinner. He listened to her stories about her family and spoke kindly to her while they dined. The dinner turned out to be less painful than Beauty had imagined. When it was over and it was time to say good night, though, the Beast turned to Beauty and asked, "Do you love me, Beauty? Will you marry me?" Why would the Beast ask her this if they just met? What do you think she will say? Beauty didn't know what to say. She was afraid that the Beast would be upset if she declined or said no. Seeing this, the Beast said, "Say yes or no without fear." Trusting his words, Beauty replied, "No, thank you," as gently as she could. "Very well," said the Beast. "Good night, then." After that, every night was much the same. Beauty dined with the Beast, and the Beast treated her with great kindness. She even began to enjoy his conversation. Little by little, Beauty got used to the way he looked, despite his appearance. Beauty found the Beast polite, and his elegant manners put her fears to rest. The way he looks didn't matter to her. But when the meal was over and it was time to say good night, the Beast always turned to her and asked, "Do you love me, Beauty? Will you marry me?" Although she cared for him more and more with each passing day, Beauty always felt that as hard as it was, the only answer she could give was, "No, thank you." Do you think she will ever marry him? One night, the Beast noticed a sorrowful look, or one that is full of sadness, on Beauty's face. "Beauty," he said, "I cannot bear to see you unhappy. What is the matter?" Bear means to accept. The Beast did not want her to be unhappy. "Why do you think she's unhappy?" "Oh," she said, wiping away a tear, "I'm just sad because I miss my family." She paused. "Especially my father. He's getting older, and if his health is failing, I worry he may need me. If only I could see him just to make sure that he is well." "But Beauty," said the Beast, "if you leave me, I fear that I will never see you again. I will be alone forever." "Dear Beast," said Beauty softly, "I do not want to leave you. I would be very sad if I could not see you again. But I long to see my father." Long means to feel a strong desire to do something. "If you will let me go for 1 month, I promise to come back and stay with you for the rest of my life." Do you think he should let her go? "Very well," sighed the Beast. "But remember your promise, and wear this locket as a constant reminder." Constant means it never stops. When you want to come back, simply open the locket and say the words, "I wish to go back to the Beast." When Beauty awoke the next morning, she was in her father's house. Not the old country cottage, but a fine new house in the city that he had bought with the riches that the Beast had given him. Is Beauty's family still penniless if she finds herself in her father's new home? Her father hugged her and wept or cried for joy when he saw her. Soon, Beauty's sisters came to visit with their new husbands. They seemed to be happy, but Beauty could tell that they were not. One sister had married a very handsome man who was so in love with his own face that he thought of nothing else. The other sister had married a clever man who entertained himself at others' expense. Do her sisters' husbands sound like nice people? Day after day, Beauty enjoyed being with her father and doing whatever she could to help him. When the time came for her to return to the Beast, she found that she could not bring herself to say goodbye to her father. Every day she told herself, "Today I will go back." But every night she put it off again. Do you think Beauty will ever return to the palace? Then one night she dreamed that she was wandering in the garden around the Beast's castle when suddenly she heard painful groans. She followed the sounds and discovered the Beast lying on the ground, and it seemed he was hurting. Beauty awoke with a start. The phrase with a start means suddenly, so she woke up suddenly. "Oh, how can I do this to my poor beast?" she cried. "It does not matter that he is not handsome. Why have I been refusing to marry him? I would be happier with him than with someone like my sisters have married. The beast is honest and good, and that matters more than anything else." She opened the locket hanging around her neck and said firmly, "I wish to go back to the beast." In an instant she found herself at the palace. But where was the beast? What condition do you think the beast will be in when she finds him? Will it be just like her dream? Beauty ran through the rooms in the castle, calling for the beast. There was no answer. Then she remembered her dream. Where was he in her dream? She ran to the garden, and there she found the beast stretched out on the ground. Beauty cried, "Oh no, he is—" She couldn't bring herself to finish the sentence. "It is all my fault." She fell to the ground and took him in her arms. The beast lay still as Beauty's tears fell upon his face. Then he slowly opened his eyes. "Oh, beast," Beauty sobbed, "how you frightened me. Thank goodness you are still alive. I never knew how much I loved you until now, when I feared it was too late." Beauty's tears brought the beast back to life. In a faint voice, the beast said, "Beauty, I was dying because I thought you had forgotten your promise, but you have come back. Can you really love such a dreadful creature as I am?" "Yes," said Beauty, "I do love you." Then, once again, the beast asked, "Beauty, will you marry me?" What do you think Beauty will say this time? "Yes," she answered. "Yes, beast, I will marry you." Before she finished speaking, a flash of light beamed around her. Beauty gasped and covered her eyes to shield them from the bright light. When she opened her eyes again, she no longer saw the beast, but there, lying at her feet, was a handsome prince. "What has happened to my beast?" she asked the stranger, noticing that there was something familiar about his eyes. Why were his eyes familiar? "I was the beast," said the prince. "A fairy put a spell on me and changed me into a beast until someone would agree to marry me. You are the only one who has been good enough to see past my appearance and into my heart." When Beauty promised to marry the beast, the spell was lifted. Beauty gave the young prince her hand to help him to his feet, and they walked side by side into the castle. They were married the very next day, with Beauty's whole family there to help celebrate. And they lived happily ever after. Does this fairy tale have a happy ending?